I was trying to describe who Doctor Strange was to Disney Darling. And the best I could do was, okay, honey, picture Derek Shepherd as a total jerk, total asshole, gets in a car accident, too soon, and then becomes Sorcerer Mickey. The best I got, spot on analogy if you ask me, but... So let's talk Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange is the 13th Marvel movie in this franchise, in this universe. Holy cow! Now this review will be spoiler free. I'll talk about the overall film and I'll talk about my thoughts on it, what I liked, didn't like. So no spoilers here, so that's good. Don't want to be that guy. Now along the way, from Iron Man to Captain America Civil War, we've seen a lot of mixtures of brains and brawn and tech and science, and that's been the big staple of these films. You know, those to me have been stood out the most in along most of these films. Now Doctor Strange is magic, a whole lot of magic, and some science in there too, some science stuff. But you know, along the way from, like I said, Iron Man to this movie to Doctor Strange, we've seen a little bit of magic just sprinkled here and there, like a garnish, if you will. And you know, we've seen some magic with Thor, with Scarlet Witch. There was some magic, a little bit of it in Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a whole serving, a steady diet, heavy course of magic, which for an origin story was refreshing and nice. Now, like I said, this is a true origin story, and much like Iron Man and much like Batman Begins, take it as you will. Some people like that, some people don't. I thought the mixture of magic in this movie made it its own thing, then kind of falling into that cliche and a similar pattern of origin stories. Like Batman Begins and like Iron Man, the first one, you have a rich guy who's successful, who's the top of his game in his profession, goes through some dark times, learns his new power, and then goes to save the day. Right? He becomes that character. Now, like I said, with Batman Begins and Iron Man, they learn new skills and they often fight their way out of things. It's a physical combat style, whether it's flying or it's the arc reactor in his chest or, you know, learning to be a ninja or something. It's always been like brains and brawn, right? That's what I mean before. But with Doctor Strange, it's magic. He literally learns magic. And it gets pretty cool at times. Oh boy, it's pretty cool. So let's talk about what I liked about this movie, in addition to the way they told the origin story of Doctor Strange and how he became Doctor Strange. Okay, visually, it's phenomenal visually. It's stunning visually. The CGI is fantastic. See the CGI, the dimension portal jumping stuff, and the craziness of this movie with alternating their realities and everything. It's just like, oh my god. How do you think of that? My thoughts on CGI is when it's good, you don't notice it. When it's good, like in Star Wars, it looks organic, it looks real, it looks nice. You don't notice it well. Like Star Wars, you know, most of Star Wars. But when CGI is iffy, that's when it kind of takes you out of a movie. Like Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. That movie is just bad CGI. Along with, you know, there's that movie, and then there's the Sharknadoes of the world that are just so cheesy and everything. But this movie's CGI and just the visual effects are just phenomenal. Marvel does a pretty good job overall with handling CGI and making it look organic and real and not taking you out of what you're seeing and taking you out of your enjoyment with the movie. So going into this, I limited myself on what I knew, what I wanted to learn about Doctor Strange. I didn't read any of his comic books. I didn't watch any of the cartoon movies. I read a little bit here. I read some stuff on him, you know, a little bit. But that one page of a book on him, I wanted to go in as fresh as I could. A little bit. I wanted to know something on him so I could kind of look forward to seeing that. Basically, I went into what I learned from the trailers, that he was a neurosurgeon, he gets in a car accident, busts up his hands, and learns magic. I didn't want to know why, how, who, or what he does to learn that. I wanted to learn that. I wanted to see him experience that. Being a part of the medical field, doctors want to know everything, right? And doctors want to believe in science and want to believe in There's a way for things to run. They want things to make sense. And with Doctor Strange, you know, he is a neurosurgeon. So he works with brains and spines and all kinds of nerve endings and everything. He believes in medicine. He believes in science. And for Doctor Strange, he has to learn that, hey, I'm not always believing what I'm seeing, but it's just the way it is. You know, I have powers to kind of make that true. You know, so he has to learn magic, and it was kind of cool to see him do that. You know, he's always been the top of his game, and he all of a sudden he goes from being a top-notch neurosurgeon to this rookie, you know, guy training in the mystic arts. It's a whole new world for him, literally a whole new world for him. And the magic kind of goes against what he believes in and what he thinks, and things don't always make sense, and he has to learn that. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see that he has to learn the ways and he has to learn new things. Daisy! I felt like this movie incorporated magic enough in the origin story to kind of separate itself as being kind of just a ordinary origin story. So that was nice to see. One of the things I didn't like was, let's see, for one, the pacing. The first 40 minutes was so like jam-packed and just jammed in there, and all of a sudden, you know, the last hour 20, hour and a half or so was just kind of slower, and things felt a little more natural. Then again, most origin stories do that, to where, you know, you have to learn who this guy is and what he was done for, and then his new life here. So it's a trap that most origin stories fall into. It's just one of the things that I was like, okay, this movie started off very quick, and all of a sudden we're slowing down. And I gotta say, this villain, not bad. Not Mads Mikkelsen. Kind of a weird looking dude, but he put a good villain. There were parts in his scenes where I kind of thought, maybe you're not the bad guy. You're dark, I can see you're dark, but I don't know if you're just a useless villain. That's kind of one of the negatives on Marvel films, is their villains don't really stand up. They really don't hold up to anything. They're just kind of there just to be defeated. But then again, Marvel is building a universe. Their villains should be kind of there just to be wasted, because Marvel is building up these characters, and seeing these characters, you know, struggle and fall and rise and come together, you have to have villains. Mads Mikkelsen as Castellas, I think that's how I say his name, was pretty cool. I thought he was a good villain. Not great, but like better than most of the Marvel films that were just kind of there and just did their thing. And I'll end on a high note. One thing I liked a whole lot, I didn't mention before, was the casting. Holy crap, Marvel. I don't know how you do this, but every single casting that you make is perfect. You know, you had Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. The guy looks like him. The guy plays a phenomenal jerk, highly successful, very intelligent. Not to mention, he's a pretty damn good actor too. He's played a lot of big roles, like Khan and Sherlock and Smaug. Okay, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, and he was Smaug in Hobbit #2, Desolation in Smaug. Now, if you've not seen the pre-CGI work that he did as Smaug, was hilarious. The motion capture is funny as hell. He's all like, I smell you, rabbit. He's physically on the floor with like the motion captures on his face, with like the stuff on it in the suit. And he's crawling around. I'm like, dude, you are a hell of an actor. Like, you are getting it, buddy. Rachel McAdams is always good in everything she does. Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think that's how I say his name. I'm glad to see him in more roles. Because last time I saw him was in 12 Years a Slave, and not an easy watch. One of those movies where you want to see just once. Once is good enough for that movie. Great movie, but once is enough with that movie. Hard. Oh yeah, also, Benedict Cumberbatch was also in that movie too, so it's good to see those guys again together in a much more nicer way. Like I said, Mads Mikkelsen was great. Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, bit of some controversy there, but she played the role very well. So overall, you guys, it's a yes for me. Must see in 3D if you can. It's not the best Marvel movie. It's not up there with Guardians and Civil War for me. It's definitely in the top half overall. If I had to give it a score out of 10, it would probably be 8 3/4. Yeah, it's just good, enjoyable, not great, but worth watching again and again and again. And you know, it's definitely a good one. I must see in 3D, like I said. So yeah, that's my review on it. Just want to say thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye-bye!